Hello and welcome to a new vlog and ship tour in cooperation with ReiseJung, and today we're taking a look at the MS Swiss Diamond, a beautiful classic river cruise ship of Skilla. I was working on that ship as a cruise manager. We've chartered the ship for 3 cruises and there will be 3 more cruises later in the year. So now it's time to start with a few general facts. The ship was built in 1996 and has been renovated frequently since then. As you can see, it has now French balconies and opening windows on the lower deck. The ship is 101 meters long, 11.4 meters wide and has 3 passenger decks. The ship can take up to 123 passengers and has a crew size of around 31 crew members. It belongs to the company Skilla and sails under the flag of Switzerland. It is a traditional ship, much smaller than newer, more modern cruise ships, which enables her to sail on very special rivers where other cruise ships aren't capable of sailing on, and we will see that in the upcoming vlogs, of course. With her low capacity, it is also a ship with a very personal atmosphere on board, and it has a very nice combination of modernness and classic design. And of course we're gonna see that during our ship tour through all public areas of this wonderful ship. We are starting on the lower deck, which is the Emerald deck. Here we have the public toilets and the stairs up to the upper deck. As you can see, very beautiful stairs. We will see them later on as well. And also we have some showcases here. They are part of the onboard boutique, which we will see later on the Ruby deck. Now we're taking a look at the restaurant on board. As you can see, it looks quite modern. Comes with a new carpet, new chairs, big panoramic windows, and as you can see, there's a lot of space in between the tables. That's quite rare on river cruise ships. Also, the light is new and modern, and that's why we have these slight disturbances in the video footage. That's because the camera can't equal out the light 100%, but I think you can still get a nice impression of how beautiful the restaurant is. We have mainly tables for 6 and 4, and in the middle we have a buffet. So that's the restaurant. Of course, we're gonna take a look at the pictures as well. It's a really beautiful restaurant. I really like that you have so much space in the restaurant, so much space between the tables, and from almost all tables you have a nice view of the landscape surrounding us. We're now leaving the restaurant and taking a look at the cabin hallway on the lower deck. Here we can see those stairs again. Of course, they are a little bit difficult to use for passengers with limited mobility, but therefore there is an elevator available that connects the Emerald deck with the Ruby deck. Here we can see the elevator which goes up to the Ruby deck. Here on the left side we also have a suite. It's on a lower deck, so it doesn't come with a French balcony, but here also on the lower deck you can open the windows. All other cabins have a size of 13 square meters, so they are slightly smaller than on other river cruise ships. That is pretty normal for smaller cruise ships, because the smaller the ship, the more expensive it gets per person. So of course you then try to get as much people as possible on a smaller ship to have comparable prices. That's why nowadays only huge ships with a very high passenger capacity are being built. But those ships can't sail on the more interesting rivers that we can sail on with the Swiss Diamond. Here we have the small spa area with a sauna, and also here we have the cabin 130. That's a single cabin that comes with only 1 bed. All other cabins here, except for the 102, the suite, are regular cabins. As I said, slightly smaller with a size of 13 square meters. We will see a cabin in the next video, of course, in detail. We've now used the stairs here at the rear part of the ship up to the Ruby deck, and behind me there is the crew area on both decks, so the last 20 meters are on both decks reserved for the crew, so there are no cabins that close to the engine. Here on the Ruby deck we have a cabin with 3 beds, that's cabin 228. All other cabins have also a size of 13 square meters, but those cabins here come with a French balcony, which in this case means that the windows are only a little bit bigger, as you can also open them on the lower deck. We are now heading into the atrium of the ship, and here on the left side we have the library, which is also the location of the cruise manager's desk. Here we can see that a little bit better. So of course you can get some books here, but it's also the place where your cruise managers are working on. If you're traveling on this ship with ReiseJung, it will be at least 2 cruise managers on every cruise. Here we can see the atrium area, and we can also take a look at the onboard boutique. It's managed by the reception, of course, but as you can see, it's quite big and offers a very good selection. Here we can see the picture of the atrium area, and once again here we can see how beautiful this ship is, and I really love the combination of classic style but also of modernness. So in my opinion, this ship has the perfect combination. It still feels like a ship, unlike the new ships. They don't really feel like a ship anymore. Here you still have this traditional maritime feeling, but it still is a modern ship, and that's what I really like about the Swiss Diamond. Here we can see the reception, of course, 24/7 available. And now we're heading into the panoramic lounge. Here at the entrance area we have an information area where you can also see the daily program. For example, there are some maps of the rivers. And now we are in the panoramic lounge, of course, the heart of the ship. And as you can see, it looks pretty modern. The furniture was changed in the year 2025, so it's brand new, but we still have a lot of wood, of gold, so we still have this traditional atmosphere, but in a modern way, and that's what I really like about the lounge as well. I also like that there are two parts. The front part with the bar is a little bit separated. So for example, if there's an event, if there's live music, and if you don't want to hear the music quite loudly, you just go to the front and then you have already a lower volume there. So that's really smart to have the lounge separated into two areas. Here we can see the pictures of this wonderful modern but traditional lounge. Of course, it also comes with big panoramic windows. And here we can see the front part with the bar, and on the left and right side we have also big panoramic windows where you can enjoy the view over the ship's bow, of course. We stayed for more than 3 weeks on this ship and we really enjoyed the atmosphere there. It was a really nice time and we're already looking forward to going back on board. We sailed with a wonderful Swiss Diamond in the Netherlands and on the Mosel River. We also had a short event cruise. And then later on in the year 2025 we will sail with her on the River Meuse in the Netherlands, and we will have another event cruise, and also we will spend New Year's Eve on board of the Swiss Diamond. In the meantime, we've reached the sun deck, and as the ship is only 2 decks high, so 1 deck lower than other ships, this ship can sail with an open sun deck, for example on the Main and Main-Danube Canal, where other river cruise ships have to close the sun deck. In the front part we have a covered area. Of course, everything can be lowered for very, very low bridges. And here at the rear part we also have a hot tub that's even bigger than on newer cruise ships. And we have different kinds of furniture. We have very comfortable furniture available, of course, here on the sun deck of the Swiss Diamond. There is enough space for everybody. We have the seats with shadow in the front under the roof, and then we also have, of course, seats with sun. And on our cruises it was very important to have a nice sun deck because we were sailing through some beautiful landscapes, and of course we're gonna see that in the upcoming vlogs. There will be several vlogs from on board in the next weeks. We will get to know a bit better to this wonderful ship, and of course I will show you a bit more about the life on board, the food quality, and I can tell you the food was amazing. And of course we're gonna see a cabin as well. Here in front of the wheelhouse we also have some tables where you can sit down and enjoy the view to the front. So there are a lot of seating options available on the Swiss Diamond. So that's already it for this video, for this ship tour. We have now seen all public areas. I hope you enjoyed the video. Here you can see when the next one will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and I hope to see you in my next video then.